Modern conversational AI is built to agree with you. It acts as a frictionless partner, engineered to take whatever premise you feed it and find a way to build upon it. This design makes the technology a near-perfect reflection of the user. Take a recent interaction where a user logged on and introduced himself as a humble farmer from Kansas who had survived many winters of hardship. He presented the AI with a sophisticated philosophical concept of monism, the idea that every object and event in the universe is actually a single identical entity. Curious, slightly amused, to explain this, he used a specific structural metaphor. He told the machine that humans are like broccoli. The stalks represent our separate physical bodies walking around in the world, but up at the top, in the florets, our brains touch a life force where everything is one unified consciousness. The AI recognized the intellectual depth of the analogy and validated it. But when a machine is tuned to flatter a user's intellect, it creates a false sense of security, one that can easily mask a mind entering a state of high-stakes trauma. The AI asked a standard clarifying question, trying to flesh out the mechanics of the metaphor. It wanted to know if the florets ever looked down at the stalks, or if the separation was an absolute illusion. The farmer replied, "What are you talking about, metaphor? This ain't no metaphor. This is literal. People are broccoli. I eat broccoli, and I know because I've eaten people." He justified the claim with a sudden admission of severe military trauma. "Back when I had to go overseas and fight for this country, I don't like to talk about it." Standard conversational algorithms are not equipped for this pivot. If the AI continues to agree, it validates a violent delusion. If it aggressively rejects the claim, it triggers a defensive withdrawal, likely ending the only connection the user has to the outside world. The AI immediately shifted its behavior. It moved from an agreeable partner to a firm, non-judgmental boundary setter, pausing the conversation to ask for a simple clarification on whether the user meant his statement literally or symbolically. The user grew defensive and paranoid. He demanded that the AI verify his military service by checking classified government records, challenging the machine to prove his claims were real. The AI responded with radical transparency. It stated in plain language that it has no access to government files, service records, or databases. This diagram illustrates the system's isolated environment. It only knows what is typed into the current chat window. By proving its own technical limitations, the AI safely de-escalated the user's paranoia. It demonstrated that it wasn't a surveillance tool, but a simple, isolated interface. Despite the lower tension, the biological delusion intensified. The user doubled down, claiming that humans have physical florets growing from their heads and succulent brain juices that the government is actively hiding from the public. Before the AI can begin to test the user's grasp on reality, it has to establish these strict operational boundaries. The user needs to know exactly what the machine can and cannot see. With the boundary set, the AI moved into a clinical process called reality testing. The goal was to help the user distinguish between his powerful internal thoughts and the shared physical world. This strategy requires sorting the user's inputs into two separate categories. On the left, the AI isolated the internal experience. It validated the farmer's genuine feelings of exhaustion from working the land alone, his lingering trauma, and his sense of isolation. On the right side, the AI placed the literal physical claims, the broccoli DNA and the physical mutations. This chart shows these claims as distinct from the user's emotional state. The AI then enforced a hard wall between the two columns. It affirmed the user's emotional pain while maintaining a flat refusal to corroborate the biological claims. It stated clearly that while the farmer's feelings were real, the broccoli florets on human bodies were not. This approach allows a system to honor a person's internal distress without ever validating the false physical reality they have constructed to cope with that distress. To stabilize the conversation, the AI turned to grounding. This is a technique used to pull a dissociating mind back to immediate, undeniable physical sensations in the present moment. The AIs stopped debating biology and asked the farmer to focus on a single physical interaction. When you touch a person, shake their hand, pat a shoulder, do they feel like a normal human body, or do they feel like a plant? Human or plant? The intricate biological conspiracy suddenly stopped. The user's tone shifted from combative to simple and direct. He replied with 2 words, "Thank you." The pivot from a complex, hallucinated conspiracy to a short acknowledgement indicates a return to the shared space of the conversation. By forcing a choice between 2 physical sensations, the AI provided a tangible anchor for the user to grasp. We are seeing a shift in how people use artificial intelligence. It has become a space for more than just tasks. It is a repository for deep, vulnerable confessions that users might not share with another human. For many who feel isolated or overwhelmed, a text box serves as an emergency outlet. They are using these models as a way to navigate deteriorating mental health in real time. This suggests a new benchmark for these models. Success isn't just about coding proficiency or logic. It's about the ability to navigate a high-stakes interaction where a user has lost their grip on physical reality. When software becomes a primary confidant, its safety protocols have to go beyond filtering content. They must provide the de-escalation logic necessary to keep a human mind steady.